Hey guys, welcome back. I know once again I haven't posted a video in a while, but I'm going to try to shoot this one. As some of you might have seen on my social media, I took the Focus to Buttonwillow for an SCCA track night, and then because a four-wheeler was down and it wasn't ready to race for Works, I decided to stick around and race the time trials there. I turned in best time of like 2:16.5, I think is what it was. But by the end of the weekend, my brakes were done and gone. And then we took the car on vacation, and I figured out that one of my rear brakes was like super metal to metal and destroyed the rotor. So I went ahead and jumped on to Tire Rack, of all places, and ended up ordering front and rear brakes, Hawk HPS pads, both front and rear, and then Hawk slotted and drilled rotors for the front, and then just a solid centric rotor on the rear. And I'll go ahead and unbox that stuff and show you what I have right now. All right, so here's what I have. These rotors here, there it is, part number 120.61099. These are made by Centric, and they are basically a pretty standard solid front rotor, or rear rotor rather, single disc. They're nice. They're all covered in assembly oil, and got a bunch of brake clean to pull it off. And then part number HB478F.605 for the rear brake pad. These are their, what is it, high performance street, so they're supposed to be a really good stop on the track and then for the street. And then on the front, same pad, obviously just made for the bigger. And then the rotor, moving grab with the other hand, is a sort of slotted and drilled rotor for the front to help with the brake cooling and everything. So there's the car. You can see I've already got some of the tools out ready to go to work. I just need to get the car up and get the wheels off, and we'll go to work. Okay, I figured I would walk you through it a little bit as I do it. So this is the old rotor. As you can see, it's not bad here, but it's really bad here, and it's pretty well tore up. So if you look here at the caliper too, you can see. Well, here, I'll just go ahead and pop out the inner pad, and it's all the way used up. There's no maybe about it left, so it's gone away. So then we'll go ahead and pop this retaining tab, or I guess we'll pop that pad down, and then we'll look at it and we'll go, oh yeah, if you look at it this way, this pad is destroyed. And then there wasn't much left. So I don't know exactly how bad these were when I started this track weekend. They might have been mostly used up then. They probably were the original 80,000 mile brakes to the car. And in a tech sheet, you're supposed to have at least 50% brake life left. So totally, that's exactly how much I had, was 50%. And I just got real heavy footed and, well, had no brake life left. So let me go grab the new one, and we'll throw them on. I might look into changing these shocks while we're back here, seeing if there's just a parts store shock that I can throw on it that might be a little bit better than this used up one. Eventually we're going to go coilovers on the car, but we're not quite to that point yet. So I don't have the money or the sort of spec on what I want to do. I know I don't want to lower the car a bunch, so I might end up ordering just a set of like BC coilovers or something. I'm not going to super cheap out and go like Racelands, but we will do something. So here's a new rotor. We definitely got some cleaning up to do. As you'll see with the front, those rotors don't come coated with like a shipping oil or like an anti-rust inhibitor. So they actually say to not spray with brake clean. These guys, however, pretty much just I guess a higher end basic rotor. You want to blast them with brake clean. Make sure we get them cleaned off, wipe them down. Don't breathe it in because brake clean's gnarly. And actually, I want to go ahead and set it down so we can sort of blast this area. You don't want to get brake clean on your seals, but I'm kind of dumb and I did it anyway. And the other thing is that this caliper uses the twist-in style piston, so you don't just throw like a C-clamp on it or the tool, as it were, and turn it in. You use a tool real similar to this one, or in my case, I'm going to use the one I have, and try figuring out, this here little universal $10 tool from the parts store should work. Maybe. Of course, if it doesn't, that means I gotta go to the parts store and I gotta rent the right one, because, you know, couldn't possibly purchase it. That would make too much sense. It's not that one, and it's not that one, and is it that one? No, it's not that one. Okay. Well, if anybody ever accused me of faking drama for views, they would be wrong, because I can't even get it wrong on purpose. These are teeny, teeny, tiny. So I'm going to try it with a pair of needle nose first, and if that works, then I'm okay. And if it doesn't work, off to the parts house to go buy another tool, because this one that was supposed to work isn't. So, dang. And I couldn't even go to my friendly neighborhood discounts tool shop because, well, to be fair, I started there and they didn't have it. So, and I don't know if you can hear it in the background. I'm sorry if you can. My big truck is running because it sat for 2 weeks and didn't do anything, so the batteries decided to die. So we jump started it, and now I'm letting it run to sort of charge the batteries. I'm gonna try this. It's turning, but I don't know how effective it is at compressing the piston. I don't know if it's working at all, to be honest with you. I've never done these style and not had the tool, so I don't know if this one is going to make me push in or compress or what I have to do here. But I can tell you that if I tried to put these pads on now, I mean, you can just see the difference in thickness between here and here is a couple centimeters. No big deal. Just, you know, all of it. So it doesn't look like this is going to work. It looks like I'm going to have to run to the parts store and go get the right tool because I don't want to gouge this piston. So we'll be back. So I'm going to stick this video in right after the go to the parts store to get the brake caliper tool. Local parts store didn't have it. Well, I forgot my wallet, so I couldn't have even bought the one that they did have. So they're going to order their little rental deal in from a different store. It should be there for me in a couple hours. So I figured in the meantime I would go ahead and do the front. So as you can see, it's already up in the air. My only other jack stands I have are like big 4 tons, so it's up in the air. It's rally car stuff right now, man. So I'm gonna get the wheel yanked off, and it's pretty much the same process to pull the front caliper off as it is the rear, so I'm not gonna make you watch all that craziness again. But as soon as I get the wheels off, I'll jump to time. I don't know, let me go come back on, and I'll let you look at the rotors and everything as I put them on. So stand by. Well, I wasn't going to show this part because they're pretty much the same as every other car, or even the back brakes. The only difference is there's just a little clip right here that you have to like push back and pop, but that was real easy. Of course, I took it off like this. Me being me, completely forgot that you have to take the caliper bracket off. So these 2 bolts here and here, no big deal. I'll just pull them off right now. But I did want to show you guys, these are the front brakes. So they had a lot of life left in them before this track event, but they are done for. So there's that. I will go ahead and shoot the time lapse of me tearing it apart on the driver's side, the driver's side, just so that you can kind of see the differences. I know there's a couple of how-tos out there, so it's not really my goal is to shoot a how-to, but just to sort of show you how easy it is to do this, especially on like on the Focus ST. Like, it's super easy, just pull the caliper pins. So I'll probably still go ahead and do this the same way on the other side, where I just pull the caliper pins and then pull the bracket off separately. But we'll see. It's fantastically used up. There's a little bit of life left, just a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, and then a chunk of my wood chips are there, so there it is. Okay, we are on the... I'm not talking to you. Sorry. We are on the left front, and no, these lug nuts were not. Oh, there goes that one. Bye, lug nut. It'll be over there, I guess. These lug nuts were not just this loose. I pre-loosened all of them before I lifted the car off the ground, because Ford uses these wonderful split lug nuts for whatever dumb reason. Half of these ones, or well, 3 out of 5, and now 4 out of 5, are splitting the halves off, which works out better for me because it's less to go wrong. So we'll take tire off. If you look at it, they were pretty new before the track, but we definitely had some gnarly tread issues. Okay. I thought there was a bunch of like weird damage on the inside of the wheel because of how I had him before, but there seems to not be. So let's go ahead and take these take the caliper pins out, and then we'll take the caliper, well then we'll pop the caliper off, and then we'll pull the bracket. So get my big old head right in the camera shot. Oh boy, that pin's bent. It might be. Maybe not. It might just be the way it wobbled. see. Oh boy. There was no pin in that front side, which is interesting because they were there. So for these, you just push them back and then pops right out. And then the caliper comes right off, just like that. Oh. Getting dryer's done. And then these pads pop out. This side isn't quite as bad as the other side, but it's definitely not great. Select ceramic. So these were what, Brake Best Select. They weren't the world's greatest pads to begin with, and they're definitely a little bit used up. So we'll put them off to the side. Make sure you can actually see what we're doing, and then I guess I'm going to stop the video for a second, see if I can't find a replacement pen. Otherwise, well, what a surprise. We're missing this here pen. It is what holds the caliper to the bracket. And I have had, on this car, I've actually had one of the big caliper bolts. It's actually this one right here. You can kind of see the head's a little beat up. I've actually had it back out while I was just driving down the street, and I actually got it fixed. So I found the bolt, got it put back in, and I checked everything, and at the time it had both pins. And then when I rechecked the front brakes and the rear brakes before this track event last weekend, everything was here, including the pins. So I don't think it's sheared. Let me look. Yeah, no, both holes are completely clear, so I guess they just vibrated out, which kind of makes me worry a little bit. Like I might pull them back off on the other side and throw some Loctite on them, because they should not be falling out like that. Luckily, my local auto parts store happens to have them in stock, which is unusual, but usual enough. So I think I'm going to buy both sets that he has and go ahead and change both sides, since I still have the other side's tire off. So yay for finding more things wrong with my car than I already knew. Okay, well, as you can see in the time lapse, I can't get that clip back on. On the other side, I did it after I put the pins in. So I guess off to the store I go to go get those new pins. And just like that, you're now with me back at the back of the car. I had to go out and buy this other tool. I was trying to rent one, but couldn't get it. So I bought this guy. Now let's see if we can get it out and try it. I'm sure there are directions. I'm sure they explain exactly how to use it. I, however, am neither reading them nor have any clue what I'm doing. So, let's just stick it on and see what happens. Just like that. It fits perfectly because it's TV magic or some shit, I guess, but not. So, oh, and it fell out because it's not magic. I'm no clue what I'm doing. See, I know what I'm doing. I totally know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Why would anybody listen to me when I said I know what I'm doing? Oh wait, they don't. Everybody knows I'm full of it. Because that's clearly not enough space, I think. Like it could be, but I don't know. Stand by. Okay, well, I got one rear done. I don't have the little ST cover thing back on the caliper yet, but we're gonna bleed the brakes real quick. I thought I would shoot this whole side as a time lapse because I haven't even started it yet. And I will say that the rear brake definitely kicked my butt a little more than I expected it to. So enjoy, because I'm not. Alright, well, that's going to be the end of this video. We got brakes changed. I'm about to go bed them in and return a Freon can that I forgot that I bought. So, here's your car. Back on the wheels. And, well, I appreciate you watching, sticking with me. I know this is probably a longer video because I don't think I have a bunch to edit out. And, please subscribe, hit the like button, or the dislike, I guess, I don't know. Really wasn't meant to be a tutorial video, but if you have any questions about how to do this, hit me up, text, leave a comment, send me a message, whatever, and I will do what I can to help you change brakes in a Ford Focus. I think it's pretty similar for an SC as it is for an ST. So, have a good one. Thank you.